here in the Central Time Zone of the United States of America. We are going live here. Let me see if I can make sure we are going live. We're going to be working on this Micro-Tel luxury resort. And we are live here. Let me check real quick. Let's see. Make sure the chat is working. I got this new thing set up. Well, I mean, it's not new. It's new for me. I finally got it set up where the chat will pop up on my screen. So I don't need a second screen to watch chat. That's been available forever. I've just been too lazy to kind of look it up and install it. But I do have that up now, so we're going to see here. I'll post a quick thing to chat real quick just to make sure that it's still working as of right now. Takes it just a second. I think maybe there's a 5-second delay or something. It worked the last time I was on stream. I don't think it's working this time. Really? Really? I guess not. That's kind of weird. Let me take a look here. Yes. No chat yet. It could be behind, maybe. Well, I'm going to just hope it works. Let's just hope that it works, because I don't want to spend all day messing with it. It did work last time. It worked last time. When I did a stream like on Thursday, it worked. And so I'm going to hope through some miracle that it also works this time. Let me see here. Okay. If nothing else, I can try to watch it on this sort of secondary screen, but I'm really bad about checking the secondary screen, so then I end up missing chat when people first post stuff. And so far, it's still not popping up here. So I don't know. Oh, well, let's skip it. This is Brian Robbins here. He is a sim. I went ahead and moved into this particular build in order to begin play testing it. It's raining here, which is a good thing because I did find a problem that I forgot about until I started playtesting, and it started raining. And that is, as you can see here, electronics, when you leave them out in the rain, they short out. And I'd put these little refrigerators in these cabanas. So I went through and I built you can just see it here, a sort of ceiling that will cover part of this cabana. It's got some glass in there to still maintain that effect of no ceiling. Ideally, I'd like no ceiling there, because that's how a lot of cabanas might be done, just with sort of this pergola over it. But it works okay, so we did that. Another big problem that I encountered, as you can see here, this light fixture is considerably smaller than this light fixture. That is because we ended up with the light fixture interfering with routing, right? Sims couldn't walk around it, so they couldn't get to the sofa. Whoops. Move objects on was already on. So let me turn it back on there. I'm also going to turn on a couple of other cheats real quick. It is freezing cold here in my state of Oklahoma. I feel like it is the coldest the earth has ever been. It's not. Most people in other parts of the world, like the Arctic and Antarctica, they probably would not think it's very cold here, but I woke up this morning, it was like 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. It'd be a negative something in Celsius, right? But it was 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was miserable, and I hated it. I hate getting out in it, which is fine because I'd rather just sit here and stream anyway. For the moment, we're going to do a little bit of a stream here today, working on this, and then we will do a quick build, a quick sort of tour of, see here, a quick sort of tour of a tower that I went ahead and already uploaded to the gallery earlier in the week. Yesterday, maybe it was, in downtown Tomarang. And we'll take a look at that before this is all said and done. Now, I think that's all I changed here. It isn't all I changed here. I say that I immediately correct myself. It isn't all that I changed here. Hold on just a second. I want to slide that forward a little bit so it's not clipping into the curtain. Come on, here we go. This one looks pretty good. I think I got that one already. One thing I ended up having to change was, as you know, if you've seen some of the other streams, I was really wrestling with trying to get this landscaping back underneath here, right? So it looked all overgrown up underneath the deck. He could not walk across here because of this landscaping when it was up higher, right? When I had this grass going all the way up here, he could not walk across the deck. So I had to take that out. We're going to hopefully arrive at a way to maybe fix that, right? To maybe fix that. I mean, I know there's a way I can fix it. I just don't know if I want to go through all that trouble to fix it. I don't know if it's worth it, but there is a way to fix it. Okay, so he lives here on this top unit of this particular building. We need to go through these other units. I did a copy and paste, a quick copy and paste of all the units, right? So that I could flesh out the building all the way up. And then we'll go through and we're going to change the decor, maybe change the layout. Like this particular room here will not be a kid's room in this unit or the unit down below. It'll be an extra bedroom, maybe with just a lot of beds in it, like a lot of maybe bunk beds in it, which is pretty typical for like kind of rental condos, timeshare condos, vacation condos. You know, you might have a great master kind of bedroom, right? But then the extra bedroom has like 6 beds in it, right? So, because it's just basically a dorm for all your family members who can't afford their own condo to come with you and kind of crash in there. So we're going to do something like that with some of these bedrooms. And in fact, right off the bat, we could probably just go ahead and kind of, you know, go ahead and clear this stuff out of this particular unit. And I love this little kids unit. I thought it turned out really well. I love playing with kids in game. Typically, you'll find my Sims with a toddler or a kid or both. It's weird. I would never say, oh, I'm a family player, but I am kind of a family player, I guess, because I always seem to have a family. So we're going to go in here and we will grab bunk beds. Let's grab some bunk beds here. Now, the interesting thing is, I'm going to take a look here and see what we've got. How much room have we got here? We got kind of a bit of room to play around with. Let's see. Bunk beds probably are here at the bottom, right? Yeah. So we've got these different kind of bunk beds. Let's take a look at what we have. I'm thinking maybe something like this. I like this here. Or maybe this. This is going to be a base game version, right? So we've got something like that. This is kind of close to what I was already using. We also have this sort of version, cowboy version. Dream home decorator. We're going to go ahead and let's use this one, this particular version here. To me, it has, I mean, it's not really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really Southeast Asia. It's not really Pacific Island, right? But it does have a little, I think it has enough of that vibe. You see, with this sort of wooden detail here, it has a little bit of that vibe. So I think that we can go with it. Now, the thing that's going to bug me is looking up here through twin beds. Do we have a twin bed to go down here that matches the top? That I don't know. Oh, we do right here. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So we got that there. That was easy. I was a little nervous, you guys. Sometimes Maxis likes to play me, right? Maxis likes to play us all and, you know, kind of throw something wonky in there that matches nothing else in the game, not one single thing. In this case, though, we've got 4 beds in here now. Kind of stack up kids, stack up teenagers, stack up full-grown relatives, whatever you want to do. And I say, like, for rental condos, actually, where I live, you know, I've shown this before on Twitter. Some people have seen this. There's a little house out in the country I go to sometimes, and one of the bedrooms there is set up like that. Well, actually, both of them are now. It's like the guest house on the farm, and both of those bedrooms now, I think, have extra beds. So, like, one of the bedrooms is set up kind of like this, where there's 2 bunk beds now, and then the other one has 2 full-size beds in it, so that it could fit more people, right? So it is not just in vacation condos. In this case, out at the farm, out at the ranch, the guest house is also set up like that. So if family, you know, from Kansas or something come in, and there's a lot of them, they can all kind of stay there. So we've got 2 bunk beds here. I don't know that we need a lot else. That's the weird thing with this. A, there's not a lot of room for anything else in here. And B, I just don't think you need a lot else in here in order to convert this room. I guess we can try to dress it up a little bit. Let's maybe throw in fact, let's just grab this rug. This comes with the pack, and it actually kind of matches in this color, I think. Let's see here. You know, we can kind of put this rug in here. Now, I don't know that we need a rug. The thing I think is that this is the tropics, and you might want to get out on a wood floor, which would be cooler to the touch than a rug would. But I don't want this room to be too plain, right? I want it to look a little bit kind of decorated. Let's look at our options for wall decor here. Again, I'm kind of thinking maybe we go with the new pack. There's not a whole lot of, like, let me get this fixed here. There's not a whole lot of wall decor with the new pack. We have, I mean, there is when it comes to stuff like this, like mold, which is the best part. I love that part of the new pack is this sort of distressed stuff that we can put on the walls like that, right? Which would be kind of funny. Maybe put that in the condo like you got there and your Airbnb has black mold growing on the walls. I think instead we could put maybe this here or one of these, maybe this. This is kind of cool. I do love this. Hang that in there as kind of some decoration, just to dress it up a little bit. That way, when you put the picture on Airbnb, it's going to look like you did something, right? We can maybe put this poster here. The poster I'm not sure about. Let's take the poster off and maybe use these for decor in this room. Let's do those. I think, did I use those out here as well? No, I didn't. I used them over here, but I used the different swatch of it. So we can use this particular swatch here in this room. I could put some shelving in here. I really feel like there could be a dresser or something, but there is absolutely no room in this poor small condo for a dresser, but it would be pretty nice. Now, all we need, and someone pointed this out in the last stream, all you really need to change clothes is a mirror. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So it's not as though the Sims are going to be left without an ability to change clothes. if I'm going to take that out since this is not the family unit. We'll take that out. It's not, they're not going to be left with an inability to change clothes. So I'm going to just leave it. Let's just go with that. Out here, a lot of this doesn't need to be changed. Again, someone gave me this idea. This is our new bar, and you could shrink down the regular bar and then use the shelving. And it works remarkably well. It does work remarkably well. I have tested that part. Worked really, really, really well. There was something weird about cleanup, though. Like the sim would sit there and eat, go back and eat if the food was sitting there. But when I told him to clean up, he couldn't clean it up. So I had to move it to a different part of the apartment to get the sim to clean it up, like over here to this counter or over here to the coffee table. Of course, you can always grab it as a player and put it in the garbage as well. Now, we're going to take these out. Somehow I ended up with a couple of extra doors in some of these apartments. That does happen sometimes when, we're using the copy and paste feature for rooms, right? And that's what happened there. Ended up with a couple of extra doors and windows in place. And I think it was just these. Like, I don't think that didn't replicate. It didn't double up on itself, and I don't think any of these did. No, they're all fine. I did think we might change some of the decor. I'm a little bit back and forth with that. The fact of the matter is, a lot of these condos, they are the same color no matter what unit you have, right? But we could do something like that. Maybe throw in orange instead. Orange would be great, actually. Now that I pull that up, I actually do like the orange really well. And I know that this comes in an orange. So we could do an orange version, right? Let's do an orange version. We already had that in orange, but let's change that maybe to blue. So we'll just reverse it. And then that gives us a really easy way to a new look, doesn't it? Do these come in orange? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. But let's see what we've got to work with. No, they do. Hooray, hooray. So we're going to change these to orange too. This is going to be our orange unit. On the table does too. Nice. Okay, so we've got our nice orange table and stuff here. We've got this type of furniture. One thing I might do is go ahead and put in a sectional in this particular unit using the Dream Home Decorator stuff. Instead of using the exact same furniture, let's move this out of the way for a moment. I might keep that table, I might not. And we'll pull up our sectional furniture here from Dream Home Decorator, which, if you don't have Dream Home Decorator, I can never recommend it enough. It's seriously one of my favorite packs. I loved playing as a decorator. I love doing the career. And it has just some of the best furniture you're going to find in a pack. That's what I think, or my personal opinion. I'll put on that disclaimer. That's my personal opinion, right? I really do believe it, though. It truly is one of my favorites. And I never tire of having my sim be a decorator. Never tire of that. We can go with pure white there, or we can leave the wood. A little bit darker wood. I'm going to just go with pure white. I don't use pure white very much, but being in the tropics, being that this is an Airbnb, actually being that it's an Airbnb, probably no one would ever use white. Because only a fool is going to stick a white sofa in an Airbnb because it's probably going to last a whole day before it gets covered in some sort of muck, right? But Sims are remarkably clean creatures. They know how to take care of stuff. So we're going to go ahead. Well, they're remarkably clean as long as you don't have like that vacuum cleaner pack, where dust gets all over everything. Or something like that. But they are remarkably clean, so we're going to kind of go with that. Let me see here. Can I put this here? It's kind of weird. I guess this part here doesn't want to connect to anything else as a corner piece. I could have sworn that we could. Let me see here. This is what I need. Let me put this here. Take that out. That's a true end piece. We'll grab. Now we have this. Can put this here, which is what I was going to do at first, and I think I'll stick with that so that we have kind of a lounge feel on both sides. And also, I think it's the sort of thing you might find with a sectional in this sort of apartment, a sort of rental unit, for resorts, because then you could move it around a little bit to change the seating. And we're going to take out that chair. I'm going to put in a different chair. And I don't think I'm going to use that table. It's just too big. Well, I could put it outside. Let me put that back. Let's go ahead and grab this table and we'll stick it outside here. There's not a lot of room on this balcony, and I don't really have any idea what I'm going to do with it, aside that I put a fairy house out here. I did figure that part out. I put a fairy house out here. I also need to make sure one thing that was a little bit wonky. I need to test this particular wall. Let me go up here real quick to this one unit. Yeah, when I tested up there, the way the doors are positioned here, where the arrows are pointing inward, the Sims went in and out through the bedroom door. And I want them to go in and out through the living room door as though this is just a window on the bedroom side. So we're going to flip it around so that the arrows point out. I should take care of that. And we're going to find ourselves another chair. Now, a great, easy to use chair is this, right? Super easy to put here. It doesn't look very comfortable, but, you know, I'm sure that it is what it is, and they will put up with it. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. And I don't think there's anything else I would use instead of that. We do have something like this. It has a little more padding on it. Or this is a good option. I think I'm going to just stick with this. I think it's got kind of a good enough look. You know, it's just some place to plop down real quick. When you come here, the point is not to sit in this room and watch TV. You are in Tomarang. You need to be outside, you know, catching up on the Tomarang stuff, the stuff to do. Go to the night market. Go to the beach, go find the Cave of Doom, all right? Go find that Cave of Doom, wander around the rabbit hole for a little bit. Go to like the tiger enclosure and stuff. Okay, so that's not too bad. We could change the master bedroom a little bit, but I just don't know that I see any reason to, really. I think it looks pretty good. We made some minor changes to this unit. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any point to make any more major changes to it. It seems good. Especially since we're going to need a lot more, you know, landscaping work today. I've got that sign there that leads directly to the lobby. I did think about putting one back over here on this side as well. Maybe like this, because both of these are kind of entrances to our resort, right? So we've got it here. Would it fit over here? It does kind of fit over here as well. I'm going to need to flatten that ground out a little bit if we're going to use it there. I think we should put it here, though, on the road, since this is where you'd be looking to see it, right? I mean, if you're looking for this resort, you're going to see the sign as you drive down the road. So let's go ahead and put it there. And we'll go ahead and we will extend our tile to be underneath the sign. I think that's what I did on this side. Is that what I did? I think so. Maybe not. No, I did. Okay, so we got that. Got this wonky ass, like, you know, mailbox there. We're going to take the mailbox out. And I think since this is set up as apartments, we'll just do apartment mailboxes. What have we got here to work with? So we got this type of mailbox, this type of mailbox. The wall-mounted ones from City Living are always great. I wonder if this would tuck in under here. Maybe, I don't know. Looks a little odd. The only other thing would be to put them here. The thing is, this area here, this is our lobby, right? So this is where you come to check in if you're staying at this resort. You're going to come here. Someone's going to meet you in the lobby. And let me see if I can fix this bush a little bit. There we go. someone's going to meet you in the lobby, maybe with like an iPad or something, right? Like, welcome back, you know, going to do like the Disney thing with their sort of timeshare resorts, like, welcome home. So that takes place here. We can kind of sit down and hang out for a while. We'll go here and grab some some rugs again. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe we don't need a rug for this. Do we need a rug for this? I don't know. I mean, we definitely need something out here to dress this area up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and we will not do a rug, but I think we'll maybe try to put some panels in here to designate two separate spaces to hang out. The way the furniture is kind of arranged looks like two separate small spaces. So my thought is down in here somewhere there's stuff like this, right? Where was that? I lose it? I probably lost it. There it is. So we've got stuff like this, right? And I believe stuff like that comes in pure white usually. Yeah, kind of. It's kind of pure white. Got kind of a silver. That actually looks pretty good, that orange. Let's... I don't know. Most of the colors are kind of funky on that. I don't know that I even want to use that. That's just the first thing I came to. So let's go through here and we will grab something else. And there's a couple of options down through here like this. This is a really good option. Let's put that out here. The circular version also super, super cool. Let's put that out here and then we can decide what we want to use. We have this and we have this slate, but I use slate all the time. As you can see, we've got slate back here as well. We're not going to use slate. We've got this here as well. And I don't think I'm going to use that I just pulled out there from the high school stuff. I think I want something a little more open, a little more airy. The point of this outdoor sort of lobby space is to have cool air going through it all the time, right? Sort of cool breezes blowing through here. So let's see, what else do we have? By the way, there's some of the marbles from the new pack. I love those. I missed it. It's gone now. It was right there. Where was it? I got it. There we go. I'm terrible. I should stop. There we go. Okay. See, these marbles, I love them. Let me zoom it up here. Really pretty, right? Really pretty. Let's move on. Okay, so are there any other options for this particular backdrop area? I think I've got enough choices here. There is another option. There is. It's from City Living. Oh, we've got this too. I don't think it comes in white, though. It doesn't. It just comes in wood tones. So I'm not going to use that because I would like for it to match that slate, at least partially. This is the other thing we have. I was kind of thinking of. Again, I don't know that we can use it. I guess we could. I don't like the black at the top, but it's mostly white to match this white here. Oh, we've got this. I'm not going to use that for the same reason I'm not going to use the high school one. And then we've got this. This is really good. This is a good option, except that, again, I don't think there's anything that's actually... Is that white? It's hard to tell. Because I think it's kind of green. I don't know. I guess it would do as white. Close enough. So we've got that as well. And then, okay, finally, we're done with that. We're out with that. We've got Lots of options here. Now, the great thing is, as I recall, don't these light up? You know, these things from wherever this came from, Spa Day or something. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this version lights up. So I do like that. Now we could throw a light onto this circular version because I'm really kind of digging the circle, right? I'm really kind of digging the circular cutout so that it denotes sort of a separate private space, but at the same time, it's not super closed off. So we could throw like a light on like that, right? Some sort of uplighting onto it. So we might use that, but we do have this, and this already has lighting built in, and it does look really good. It's a lighting on both sides. It is on both sides. So we've got that. We've got this. I'm going to take this out because of the black at the top. It doesn't really match. We'll get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of the solid high school one, again, because it's solid, kind of like I was already talking about. And this isn't really white. It's kind of close to white. It is. The bowling stuff was kind of close to white, but not really. So that makes 3 options. We've got this, and then these. The thing I don't love with this is that it still feels pretty solid. You know, the slats are pretty solid. This does give us a great sort of feeling of openness, right? I mean, you can see right there. It's kind of a great kind of feeling there. We could maybe, oh, well, I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could bookend it with those, right? But now that I have it there, I don't think we can bookend it. I think it looks not like it matches. And we've got something like this. So which gives us a really nice modern feel. I don't think so though. I'm really leaning towards this. This has kind of really grabbed me. So let's go with that, and then we'll take that out. We'll take its matching piece out with the lights built in. Go ahead and take that out, and we will, let's look at this real quick. If I put 2 of those there, I mean, it looks okay. I think we're going to give, the stutter's not too bad from the move objects on intersection. The stutter is not too bad. But I don't love it. Let's pull this back over here. I don't think that's going to work. So if we're going to use this, it has to just be by itself. You know, I kind of wanted something that would go across this whole area, but if we're going to use it, I think it does have to be pretty much all by itself. Let's see here. We're going to move our uplighting, our dramatic uplighting over here. I think, where is it? Is it down here? Get in here a little bit closer. I think it is, there it is. Let me pull it back here. I'm going to put it like that, just that way if I decide to change it later, I can find it easily, because if it's lost in that greenery, I'm going to forget where it is. It's going to be a big hassle trying to change it around. Now, the bad thing is, as you can see here, I'm not sure that those 2 from the sides really are illuminating this particular screen that much. Now, they are illuminating the seating area actually quite nicely. But I think if we're going to do the screen, we're going to have to do it like this. Let's see here. which that's an option. Let me try it real quick here and see if I'm going to put in a quick pony wall here and we're going to test out. We're going to do a quick test of oh shoot, well it's not. I've got it on the half grid, so maybe we won't test that. What I wanted to do was take, and I can still do it, I've just got to eyeball it, which I don't love. I want to take this stuff here, which I've been using all the time, from the high school pack. And then maybe if we bring it up here, we could kind of illuminate this from the top, but it looks like it has to go way out here to affect it. And again, not really what I want to do. Now I don't want to do that either. That I just put there. I was about to say, now we could do this. No, we can't. We can't do that. I don't like the way that looks. Let's try this stuff maybe. So we've got this sort of, let me move this out of my way. You know, we've got this sort of thing. We could illuminate. Again, it has to be so far back to kind of illuminate that piece properly. I mean, it does work. I guess it works, you know. So we could do that. We'd have to do both sides, of course. Do. What else do we have? What other options? We have like the paint light, of course. This thing here, you know. But once again, I mean, putting it over by it doesn't seem to have any effect on it whatsoever. It does on the furniture, but not on this piece itself. The one thing we could do, we could try these. This is debug items. It's this weird sort of like ambient wall light. So it's basically the light from nowhere, right? The light from just, you know, like that, right? So we could do that. That definitely lights that up more of how I want. The bad thing is, I hope that if people don't like it, like if they download this and they don't like that look, they can easily figure out how to get rid of it. Sometimes people don't know what that square is, and they don't realize it's providing light, right? I'm going to try taking out these up lights real quick, and we're going to see how dark it gets. It got pretty dark there. It lights up over here really well onto the sofa. So that is good. Let's go ahead and just go with that. I'm going to put these up lights back in place so that it kind of lights up this sofa as well. And that does give more what I was hoping to have there for lighting. On this side, we're going to go ahead and we will put in a more modern sort of look to it, I think, by using something like this. Maybe go ahead and put one on this side. And then we can put some art underneath it. Let's grab some art real quick. so that it kind of looks like it's an art light. Kind of has some purpose more than just lighting up that particular wall. What I would love to do, I guess, and I guess I could, is I'd love to take some photographs and put in there, but here's the bad thing. If I take photographs in game and put in here, then it's going to read on the gallery as custom content. So, you know, nobody's ever going to see it and it's harder to find. Now, I could just put the picture frames here to be indicative of maybe of that fact that you can put your own pictures there. They come in white. That looks really pretty. Let's go with that. I think I will. I mean, I would love to have actual art there, but ideally in my game, what I'm going to do is have a sim go and just put pictures in there, maybe of the surrounding area. Again, because if it's a resort, a lot of times you go into resorts, they have pictures of like the surrounding area. Like, you know, this waterfall or this mountain, they're going to have pictures of it, kind of showing off where you are and what there is to see and do. So that is to be representative of that. Will anybody get it? Hell, I don't know. I really don't know if they'll get it or not, but that is what I'm going to go for there. And in my game, that is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to grab a couple of these bamboo, potted bamboo, I think. We might use that. And if we're going to use a pot of bamboo, we'll probably grab something to kind of dress the pot up a little bit. Like this. This is really cool. I think this one will work pretty well. Yeah, it does work pretty well. So we could grab that. Raise it up. I don't want it to get too high. I don't want it to, you know, pierce the floor above. But we'll raise it up a little bit. And we could change the color of the pot. This is Selva Dorada, of course. A pot from there. We could try changing it. Maybe let's change it to orange. There are other options that we could use aside from that pot. Look through here. I've used kind of the oriental looking one. Sort of Asian influenced, if I can find it down through this stuff. There it is. Something like this maybe. This also works. So we could do something like that. We go down here. Lift it up a little bit. And we'll change the color of the pot to, in this case, like if we were to use this, we'd change it to red. That way where it kind of clipped through the pot there, I'm going to turn the sun back on. It's not really entirely noticeable, right? So it looks pretty good. I don't really know about that. I don't know if I want to use that pot or not. Does come in a white. I like this multicolor version. We're going to keep it for a moment. The other option that works really well is this right here. I've used this like literally a million times in this game. Some Asian style versions here. Like so. So that looks pretty good. In fact, I do like that. Let's see. What to use and what to do. I don't know. I think we will stick with the sort of Asian influenced one there. Let's go with that. It does fit with Tomarang. Put a little decorative item in there. Maybe put a little decorative item over here. I don't know if we should use the same one. I mean, on one hand, in a lot of hotel lobbies, you see a lot of repetition like that. Resort lobbies, they don't do a whole bunch of necessarily different decorative items. It's like the same thing on every single table. It's the same thing at every little seating group. So I'm going to stick with that for now. But as I go on, I might change it at some point. These are our options, for plants with the new pack. We could use that. We could use this over here. And it too has kind of that Asian theme. We're going to get a little bit of clipping through this thing, Do, 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 do. Do, do. We'll scoot this over just a little bit. Maybe we can take care of a little bit of the clipping that way. A very little bit of the clipping that way. Do, 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 do. I don't want to get this area too full. I don't want it to be too overwhelmed. It shouldn't look junky. It should look pretty, I don't know, hopefully understated and elegant. Hopefully. We're going to try changing that to white, of course. So again, if there's any clipping, now one thing I need to do here probably is just lower it down. One like that, that'll help. But just in case, we'll change it to white. If there's any clipping through the vase, then it won't show up. Okay, now the only thing I can think is maybe we put in some sort of table in here, and this is pretty much done. That's the way I look at it. Pretty much completed. Guess we could put something like this back here, maybe. Do. Got that there. Nice little greenery in our lobby. Table is going to be tough. I'm not real sure what we're going to use for a coffee table especially. I want something pretty small, pretty diminutive. We do have this sort of thing, right? Clear, crystal clear coffee table. It's not exactly right for this particular look, but it's small. It is small. We've got this sort of stuff. I love this table, but again, is it right for this look? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's unright. I mean, it's like when I put it in there, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, really, it's from the Moroccan pack, right? This is not Morocco. This is Southeast Asia. This is Tomarang. But I do think it kind of works there. So I'm going to leave it. And then let's look at some decorations real quick. I'm going to try to find something from Tomarang. I think I have something in my head right now that we can use real quick from decorations to put on each of those tables. Now we could do, a plant. We could do this, of course, right? That looks good. I think I don't want to overdose too much on the vegetation. So let's look through here. The thing I was looking for was like this, I think this would work. And we could do it in blue, so it kind of ties in with the blue in these vases. Just a little pop of color there. You know what else? I think this comes in blue. And I don't know, should we do that in blue as well? I think not. I'm going to leave that as white. We don't need too much blue going on. And that might just do it for our lobby area. I think that's not too bad. You know, if the mood strikes me, I might add some more to it, or I might add a carpet or something, but a rug. But I think it looks pretty good. It's not bad. Bad for a little lobby. This unit is done. One thing I'm unsure about is I thought about maybe putting some seating areas back here. I am going to run into trouble with this particular landscaping because it affects routing. We'll kind of illustrate that real quick. This is Brian Robbins, of course. You can see I'm clicking. Well, you can't see it. You can see there's an arrow there. I'm clicking there to try to get him to go there, and I don't get the option to go there. That's because of this is in the way. Now you can go here. You can go right there. We'll have him run on over. Brian Robbins is my Tomarang sim. I made him a boyfriend. I did make him a boyfriend. So his boyfriend lives here in Tomarang as well, but I think that might be the only two sims I really made for this pack. We're going to grab some seating. Now, again, the idea is let's find something here, find some chairs. Something where people could hang out, you know, just talk and hang out. I would love to do rocking chairs there. I think that would be really, really cool. None of our rocking chairs, though, I think are really going to go with this decor. We do have this. I love that. Obviously, that's from Sulani and Tomarang is Sulani 2.0. So it works really well in this environment. Let's try here. Kind of clipping through the landscaping there. I definitely will have to work on that if I decide to go with these. But for now, we're going to test whether or not he can even sit there because I'm pretty sure he cannot. And then once we know that, see, he's like, I can't get there. This is in the way. Can he sit here? He can sit there. So he doesn't mind the bush. Does he mind this bush? No, he doesn't mind that bush, right? It's like, yeah, I'll sit in the middle of a bush, but I'm not sitting above that grass, that poison ivy. Okay. If I'm going to do any sort of seating arrangements back here, then I'm going to have to take this out. I don't really want to use that. I really, really, really want to use rocking chairs. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up rocking chairs here and see what we have. Again, we really only have a few options, right? There's also a sort of rocker style chair from Growing Together. But I definitely don't want to use it. I don't think it looks correct either. So what we end up with is we have this, you know, kind of grandma's rocking chair. And we have the Lone Star State of Texas rocking chair. And we have this one, you know, country rocking chair. Let's take a look at our swatches here. I think maybe this one might work. It comes in white. It's not exactly what I consider Southeast Asia, but maybe rocking chairs aren't Southeast Asia. I mean, just because I want one here doesn't mean that they actually would be there in real life, right? I'm going to look real quick and grab the one from Growing Together, this thing. Can we even rock? I think we can rock, and I think we can rock in that. This would be the only one I'd be interested in using. It at least has some more modern lines, right? So like that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. This really matches over here with that pretty well. So, I mean, kinda, anyway. The blue is a little off. This is probably our best bet, our closest bet. So we could do that. Let's create a little sort of seating area back over here where, you know, people could just hang out, talk, get to know each other. And there might be, it might be possible to do this without this interfering. Do. Yeah, I got there without any problems. So it does feel like that works pretty well. I would love to put a table here. And I think we could. Let's scoot these back a little bit. And we'll make sure that they will still work. I'll scoot those back too. Even though Sims won't care about that clipping, I'm going to try to move this just a little bit, just to kind of lessen, you know, the look that it's a little out of place, you know, with that landscaping passing through it. Grab ourselves a nice coffee table here. What did we use for the other coffee tables? Over here. Oh, yeah, we use this thing. Okay, so let's grab one of these. Just grab this same kind of look. And I almost put this particular potted plant on there a second ago. We're going to do it this time. We'll grab this, put it up here. Throw a little color into it. Now, what we'll have to do is kind of work on our landscaping over here. Okay, so what to do? One thing I'm thinking right off the bat is, do we need, I mean, in real life, we would need this. Do we need to put some sort of railing here? In real life, there would probably be some sort of railing around this, right? And my thought is to go ahead and sort of replicate this kind of look, but down over here. The only bad thing is if I decide to do it, I'm probably going to have to do it from here all the way down and around, which isn't that big a deal. Let's see. As I said earlier, it is super cold here in the state of Oklahoma. I was just thinking I'm about to make my son some lunch here in a little while. And I was just thinking that I might make him some hot chocolate today, you know, get warm and toasty. These do kind of clip a little bit badly with the wall there. Let's put that like that. That one especially does. Move it up a little bit. And I would say, I guess we could go ahead and bring it across like that. I've got some hot chocolate packets actually in the cabinet. In fact, I got some of that stuff for Christmas, actually for my mom. It was one of the gifts from my mom was hot chocolate and these coffee mugs. The gift is really the coffee mugs because she knows I drink like coffee and tea all the time. And I am notoriously bad, as is the dishwasher, at breaking coffee cups. And so every year she gives me a few. So every year I end up staying on top of my inventory. And it's kind of like, okay, so I broke a couple of coffee cups, but here comes a couple of more because it's Christmas again, right? This year she included them in a, I think a Hershey's chocolate, hot chocolate set. So it'll be good. Be totally good. I know I might throw some chocolate chips in it, richen it up a little bit. Although if it's Hershey's, it's probably going to be pretty rich. I'm just making sure that he is rocking there okay in the areas. As long as he can sit down, he's probably going to be just fine. He's starting to get a little kind of negative here, adrift. Oh, he's not part of his community. You know, starting to feel a little bit adrift. So we've got that there to dress that area up a little bit. And the great thing is we can go ahead and leave this particular group of landscaping alone, I think, without too much trouble, without really worrying about it. Now, what I do have to worry about, of course, is the rest of it. Why is that not working? Let me have this. Silt foundations. Oh, blast it. Okay. So it thinks this whole area for some reason is a pool. I had a problem with this before, and I really can't remember how I resolved it. Except I think I went in and drew a wall, right? Could I do it with a fence? Let me try a fence real quick. I could use whatever this is called, this stuff. Fence for window shopping. I could use that. It saves me all the time. And maybe go ahead and draw a line across here, right? See what that does. So then that will hopefully give us two separate areas now. It didn't. It did not give us two separate areas. It does a lot. It does a lot give us that. So it didn't work this time. Let's try something else. I wonder why it didn't. Because I've used that a lot when it comes to dealing with outside, the exterior moldings around buildings that come indoors. They show up inside and outside because of kind of a glitch with reading where a room begins and ends as far as its internal space, right? So I don't know why. Oh, I do. Wait a minute. I think I do know why. Let me see here. Now that I think about it all the way through, I only did from here to here, but the room technically runs to there. That's why. Okay, so if I do that, and then I end up with just this room, right? And this room, okay. And even though we do have that line there, and I don't love it, once I get this all done, I think I might be able to take it out and then it won't affect anything, right? It'll go ahead and not read the foundation as affecting the pool. So let's do that. Let's put our foundation back in place like so. And then we'll put our, we'll put our suburban dream siding back in place here as well. Okay. So not too bad. All right. Let's see here. I want to go ahead and finish off this landscaping here and tie it, of course, into this landscaping. So we get this whole kind of quarter finished off. Now, the big question, what to do? I think what I would love to do is maybe try to carve out a little area here and put a palm tree in it. So flatten that out like that. Or like that maybe. And then we'll grab one of these palm trees. Shoot. Now, I don't really like using trees for landscaping, as odd as that might sound, mostly because, of course, they do disappear. They disappear so easily, and then you can't see them in the game when you're playing. So, you know, I'm a little kind of on that. But I do think that this will look good here. And we'll change where we flattened out our landscaping, you know, our terrain paint, or not terrain tools, terrain building. Put some dirt in there. And we'll grab some more of this grass like this Hawaiian style grass for Tomarang. Put it in there. Now I want to put that there and then go in here and delete that flooring out from underneath it, right? Because I don't really want to use, I don't want to lose that slight rise in the hill there. Okay, whew, there we go. So I put the rise in the hill back in place, and then the grass will be growing out of that. It didn't make a huge difference there. Sometimes it makes a larger difference, but you know, it is what it is. My thought along here too is let's go ahead and we'll grab this bush, one of these bushes. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller and run it, kind of just mirror it with what we have going on up above. Run that same kind of length. Like so. So we'll put that there. And we'll put some flowers along here. Let's try to find some tropical flowers real quick. We know we have them, right? Because we have Sulani. We have like a bunch of different kind of tropical options. This is what I'm thinking, though. This is Selva Dorada, but I think we'll go ahead and we'll put this in here. And we'll kind of subtly turn them around a little bit as we place them so that they don't all look the same, right? They don't all look the same, facing the same direction. Okay, so we'll throw some of that in there. And let's go ahead. And again, I'm going to flatten this area out and see if it makes much difference when we put this Hawaiian-like grass on here. I have to be real careful about getting that under there. It will not work if I do. So I guess we'll just take it down a little bit smaller and then line it up through here more of this regular size. We'll take out that stuff like that. Now that really covered it up a lot. So we're going to go ahead and lift it up at least one spot so that we can actually see it through the dirt. Yeah, that's a little bit better there. I think that looks a little bit better, a little bit thicker, a little more realistic. We do need, again, something back through here, but first let's go ahead and go down through here. And I guess we'll just follow this same feel, right? We're going to do the same thing through here. Of this much more maintained looking strip of grass than some of these other areas. And I better go ahead and lift it up one spot. Oops. Shoot. I should have just hit yes there. I do want that unit unhidden, I guess, kinda. I don't know if I'm gonna do any, no, I guess I'm not gonna do any work in it. Okay, so there's our grass kind of peeking out. What am I going to do under here? I have no idea. Well, I do. I have an idea of what I could do. Like I said before earlier, I'm not sure it's worth the effort to go through and do it, but we will give it a shot here, I guess, just to kind of decide, is it worth the effort? I mean, I'm really torn on bothering with it. Because it's going to get a little tedious. I guess only the first one would be really tedious. Well, if it even works, might not even work. Okay, so what we can do, if we want to have landscaping coming up under here, is we just go downstairs, we create a basement. Like so. I'm going to just fill out a big, huge basement here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so maybe we're not going to do that? Is that the case? You know what? Yeah, okay. So we can't do that either because okay. Maybe we could go down, but then this makes it even harder. We could maybe go down 2 levels and put in a basement. Does that affect up here? This still affected it. Okay, so we're not going to use a basement. Long story short, that won't work. My idea was we build a basement, we put the vegetation in the basement, we use 9, the 9 button, the numerical button 9 to lift it up into place where we want it. And then since it's in the basement, it doesn't read as a hindrance to routing, right? Because it's on a whole different level. But that's not going to work. That's not going to work. As we saw there, not going to work. So let's go ahead. Maybe we can... Oh boy. Maybe we can do this type of stuff. I don't have a lot of room here to work with it. Yeah, I don't love that. So, now I can flatten the whole land out and just make it a flat area under there, but I still don't think that really resolves the issue that I have with it would just look so kind of bland and boring back under there. So I kind of want to block off the view altogether, which means we could put in a solid foundation. That's not the first thing on my list. I don't really want to do it. I tried it over here and didn't love it. And then I guess otherwise we just try to take bushes and kind of try to make them work, right? Try to make them work here. To maybe hide the area. It's not too bad. It's not really what I wanted. Let's see here. If we flatten out, let's flatten out this landscape area. Let's do that. Let's take a look at our bush options here. I'm going to grab this one again. I thought I might have an easier time if that was flat. But, you know, it's still not very big. Still not very big to cover up that hole. We've got this stuff, of course, that I haven't really used anywhere yet. It is a little bit higher. Maybe. And then we've got this sort of thing. Now, we could do a line of this stuff. Actually, pretty easily, we could do a line of this stuff. It just... I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I'm going to love that either. But does work, it does fit. And we can make them pretty big. So something along those lines. Something like that. It does kind of block off. It kind of blocks off the balcony up above. Now I do kind of like these though here on the sides. And that's it. So I'm running out of options as far as this stuff goes. We've got this. We could do that. That fits, right? Okay, let me take a look at that. If we pull this out, so hopefully we don't get leads to a lot of clipping there. The thing is, I think the tool mod currently hasn't been updated due to defects with the game at the moment, some bugs in the game. Tool mod, I could make it just a little bit bigger, not double the size. And I think that's more of what I would like to see. We could stack these a little bit here. The only other thing I could think of real quick is we go ahead and we leave the bushes there, and then we just grab something maybe like ivy or some of this sort of wall stuff. Like there's some flowers, you know, we got this sort of stuff. This would work to some extent. It's kind of pretty. But that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of this, right? Because it's big and it's kind of thick, and if I can get it to work here, it would. I don't think it's going to though, because it wants to connect to a wall. Maybe if I do it like this though. No, nope. It's still stuck to the wall up above. Boy. So that won't work either. That won't work either. Let's take it off. How about if we got this stuff, right? What if we got this sort of drapey stuff, right? Where's that one thing? The big one. The big drapey sort of this, right? Will that work? It's not awful. It's not great. I'm going to take it out. Now, I will say, at least as far as this goes so far, I kind of like this area. I do think that's fine. I'm not there yet with this underneath kind of zone. I really wanted to have something back under there that would, evoke kind of the tropics, kind of some vegetation, some life kind of growing back in there a little bit. And since we can't do that because of routing issues, I just soon have it screened, right? So if we could grab, like a literal screen. That room divider that I ended up not using. What's this called again? Slat wall room divider. There. We could can we get this to work? Can we get it to slide back enough to create kind of a, kind of a different sort of screening so that it's Let's see what colors this comes in real quick here. That's a pretty good color, works pretty well. We could also just do white. That works pretty well. It's going to be a little wonky trying to eyeball this to get it to line up and not jump up there. Right. Okay. So what I do wonder now that I'm sitting here, because I do think about stuff while I'm building. I wonder if we're going to go and put that in there. I wonder if I could go ahead and put that landscaping in the basement and have it not technically be a basement. That's not too bad. Let's see what this looks like with the sun off. Yeah, that looks kind of nice, actually. It's got a nice little highlight there with the lights. So if I go downstairs, right? Maybe I don't need it. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe I can just place this here without a room around it. Let's see where that lands us. Aha, and see, then we get some of that overgrown sort of growth, right? Which is what I was angling for. It is getting some clipping through here, but we could... We'll put another one here instead, right? Then we'll drop it down a little bit and see what that gives us. Make sure I grab that one on top. Okay, so that's not quite high enough. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Handband. I think it's coming along pretty well. I think the divider is going to work out well there. I'm pretty excited for it as well. I I think it does hide that stuff. Now, this might end up, working for me here. There's no telling. We shall see. But it might. So we could try that. We've got that there. Like I said, it does lead to clipping, but maybe it's just not that big a deal that it clips through, because it does kind of give out that sort of lushness of the vegetation growing around everything. And let's see here. I think those are on the same level. It's got the look there. Ooh, well, that is way not going to work. So, This is why earlier I said, well, there's a way we can fix it, but it's tedious. And I'm not sure that it's going to be worth the effort of going through it, because it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The tool mod makes it a little bit easier because you have, more control. And it's just easier to say, okay, grabbing this, as you saw, it drops automatically back down to the grid, right? With the tool mod, I can just raise it a little bit more or lower it a little bit more, and it does not automatically drop back down to the grid. That works a little bit better. Maybe I'll just use this a little bit in a few areas. I mean, most of the clipping is under control there, most of it. I don't know. There is a corner variant of that grass type. It is, in fact, right here, like that. I'm afraid the scale I've got going is going to be a problem. And then just the way the terrain undulates is a problem. So one thing I could do, I did want to test that here in the basement, and it is an option. It works okay. I think I'm going to go ahead, though, and maybe just run a bush over here. And we could even go ahead and just extend these dividers, put a divider over here. And then kind of let these go. I'm going to test those before I take them out, just in case I want to use it in the future, to know whether or not it is going to, in fact, work. Or is my sim going to have routing issues there? He shouldn't have routing issues, and I'm confident that he won't. But I still like to test anything that I'm going to put on the gallery, because I don't want anyone to get it, and it's kind of like, well, Jason thought it would work, and it doesn't work, right? But we could do this, and we'll go ahead and put like a little bush here. Going to bring it out here. I guess we could run this all the way down. We'll put that there. There. And then we can go ahead and we'll kind of bring the bush a little bit further down. Kind of reach the corner that way, which does look a little more natural. I don't know if I want to keep this tree in place now. I guess I could because it does kind of frame out the balcony. But it is not as necessary as it once was. Let me take it out here. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's always worth the experiment. Always. I mean, I do think it's always worth an experiment. It's always worth trying. Just because it doesn't work right now in this one particular location, it might work in the future someplace else. It's always, come on, railing. There we go. It's always worth trying and, kind of filing it away. Like I said, we are going to go ahead and test it here as soon as I get these railings placed. With my sim sitting there, I make sure he can walk back and forth. Before, I did have a bunch of that grass positioned under these decks, not in the basement, and it caused massive routing issues. The sims could not get past the grass to the areas they needed to go. So we're going to have this guy come over here, do a little rocking. Yeah, it doesn't bother him when it's in the basement. I didn't think it would, but it's always good to double check. Also, things change. Things change in the game. Sometimes you get glitches. Sometimes they just fix something or change something. So I do like to check for that reason as well. And I typically do go through and double check things, all the time, pretty much through every single build. Pull this here. Okay, so we got a little bit of a look going there. I think it'll work pretty well. And I guess we could go ahead. We'll see here. First, I'm going to delete our... Did I delete it already? I don't think so. I'm going to delete the tile I used here to flatten out the terrain momentarily while I put that stuff in place. I'll let it bounce back up there. I think there might still be a piece under here. Whoops. That wasn't it. Let's take that out. Let's see here. I did it again. So, swing it around this way. There it is. Take it out like that. Because I'm going to go ahead and just put in some, another bush here maybe. Another hedgerow type of bush. Do like this. Very delicate work. I should be a surgeon. I should be a surgeon. So guys have such delicate hands in The Sims, right? Every builder in The Sims needs to have, at least that uses move objects on, has to have very delicate touch. Come on. I just want to pull that back just a little bit so it doesn't clip through there quite so much. We'll go with that. I think that works okay. And I don't really want it to clip through the chair though either. So let's, I don't know what to do about that. Let's see. I got two options. I do that and I let it clip through there, or I have it clip through the chair. So I guess I'll let it clip through here. It looks a little more natural clipping through the fence than it does clipping through the chair, so we'll go with that. Yeah, I have the proverbial patience, I tell you, of a saint when it comes to this game sometimes. But I do love it. I do love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. I wouldn't build if I didn't love it. And I do. And I love the new pack. There's been a few little issues. In fact, speaking of which, real quick, before I forget, I'm going to save. I'm going to just save real quick before I forget. And I probably should save this to to my library as well. There have been a few little issues where the game has crashed to the desktop, which I've never experienced with The Sims 4 in, all these years. And it's done it like 5 times in the past week. So I feel like I'm just back to the old Sims 3 method of remembering to save, every 20 minutes, I guess, or something, right? That way I don't risk it. And there have been a few problems as well, just with getting stuck in a saving loop. So you go to save it, and it just goes around forever and ever and ever. So there have been those kind of issues too. The crazy thing is, I really don't know what caused that or when it started. I did play For Rent, the alpha copy, as part of early access, and there was nothing like that. I had a few minor, you always have some minor bugs, right? Some bugs, some issues. That's part of what, alpha testing is about, or alpha play. You're going to try to help identify some of those. And yeah, there were some, a few here and there. But let me tell you, nothing like that. Nothing like that. So I was really surprised that it's like when the beta game gets here, the one that's released to the public, all of a sudden, we're having these major issues. So I don't know what they added in the meantime. I don't know what they tried to fix in the meantime, but it was really weird. It was really weird because believe me, if I'd been playing the alpha copy and it kept crashing to the desktop, yeah, people would have seen it, if nothing else, in the videos I did, that, hey, this is kind of a little wonky, But no, it really did not happen. So I don't know. I don't know what they did, but something happened. We're going to take that out. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll try to patch it quickly. I've no doubt that they're concerned about it. I guess it'll just depend. Like I said, since the alpha copy did not have anything like that, had nothing like that, at least in my copy, I think surely you can narrow it down to what you added, right? But a lot of stuff gets added at the end. The alpha copy, we received it maybe 3 weeks, I think, before release date. Maybe even a little bit earlier than that. And in those 3 weeks, they had a ton of different things, right? They had a ton of stuff to the game. So I don't know. There might be a lot to go through. But I still love the new pack. I love being able to have rental units. I had a ton of fun with that so far. I've not had a chance to play it in a little bit, right? I wish I did. I've been really busy through the holidays. It's my busiest time of year at work. So I've been really busy through the holidays, but I had a lot of fun being a landlord and kind of dealing with my tenants, dealing with the people renting from me who are ingrates. Keep that in mind. When you're a landlord, you're just going to have a bunch of ingrates Bunch of ingrates living there. Actually, it was kind of funny because it was almost like, oh, these poor landowners. How they suffer, right? Oh, how they suffer. And I usually don't have a lot of sympathy for like rental landowners, right? I don't have a lot of sympathy for people renting out properties, but the game makes you have sympathy for them. That's for sure. Come on. There we go. Maybe that'll work. Do. I'm going to put that back real quick and maybe just grab some of this shrubbery here. It's going to maybe overlap a little bit. That looks pretty good, though. We'll put it there. Hopefully the Sims will still go up and down. Yes, as I was saying, I have enjoyed the pack. Otherwise, the world is stunningly beautiful. It is really, really a gorgeous world. I kind of made the point in some of my reviews, and I do still feel this way, that I really wanted a very urban southeastern environment. It's not an urban southeastern environment. I keep calling it Sulani 2.0, and it is Sulani 2.0. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. That means that, okay, it's not what I wanted per se, but it's really gorgeous and it's really well made. And I think most people, myself included, because I do like it, and I've done a ton of building for it. So even though it wasn't exactly what my initial building, the initial building I started doing in the game before I had an alpha copy of it, before I even knew what the world looked like, that building was all very rough and urban and dirty and stuff like that. Okay, so those builds don't work really with this environment, but I've built a whole lot of other newer builds, new builds just for this pack, for this particular world. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just gorgeous. It really, really looks good. I think the world's really well made. Like, I haven't noticed any routing issues. I haven't noticed any trouble with, getting around. Now, I will say it does feel like there was, like the lot I was working on here in Tomarang that has my haunted build on it. I don't know how this could happen. I don't know why it would happen. I do feel like that lot was the one that, like, when I would leave, it would crash. Okay, so the Sims 4 would crash to the desktop. So I feel like that happened more often with that lot, or maybe always with that lot. It's weird looking back because I was working there so much over that week that I think, yeah, maybe it was a problem with that lot. I don't know how and why that would be the case. It makes very little sense that would be the case, right? But it does seem to be the case that particular lot was affecting that issue of crashing to the desktop and getting stuck in an endless save loop, So what can I say? If it's just that one lot, maybe they'll get it fixed really quick. I don't know. Fingers crossed. As it is, though, I mean, I've been playing it still, so the crashing is annoying, but, it's no more annoying than when I played The Sims 3 and it crashed. I mean, if you played The Sims 3, you remember the issues, I did have a really nice break over the holidays. One great thing is, with my job, it is my busiest time of the year. I'm swamped. I'm half dead. I normally work about 50 to 55 hours a week. During the holidays, I work 60 plus hours a week. And then you've got all the holiday stuff on top of that. So yeah, I'm pretty much half dead. But by the time the actual holiday gets here, Christmas gets here, I take that whole week off from, like, at least from Christmas Eve through New Year's Day, right? I have that whole week off, which is one of the benefits of my job and one of the benefits of working for myself. No matter what am I complain about with my job, working long hours and stuff like that, I have a lot of flexibility with my schedule, which a lot of people do not have. And so I can spend every holiday with my son. I can spend every single holiday, every single school vacation with my son. That makes a really big difference. It does. And I really do appreciate that. So I had a really great holiday with him. One of the things we love to do is we will build puzzles sometimes on the holidays. So I bought a Pokemon puzzle, and we did go through and we built the puzzle. And then I had another one, which was cats, like a cat lying on a bookshelf. That was a lot of fun. And then we had one, we didn't put this one together yet, but I had a big colorful, kind of like a circle, like a color wheel, like that you could put together. But we did do those, and we had a really great time with it. And like I said, it's just really nice. It is really, really nice to be able to kick back with my son on the holidays and not have to worry about anything. It really is. And, it's really the way more of the world should be. Some people don't care. They may, about holidays. They may not care if they have time off then or not. But I will say this. I feel like if you work Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, let alone Christmas Day and New Year's Day and stuff like that, you should get paid overtime. You should get paid holiday pay. You should get paid double time. I don't care. I really do think you should. And despite the fact that I'm a business owner, I just work for myself. I don't employ anybody. I just work for myself. And I'm not a big capitalist. I'm not really a communist. I'm not. Now, my friends and some previous employers I've had in my life called me a communist. But I'm not a communist. Not that I necessarily find anything wrong with classical communism as a sort of utopian ideal, but I'm not a communist. They just said that to be mean. But I'm a socialist, that's for sure. I'm like a pretty major socialist when it comes to my ideas about how things should work with the working class. Right. Okay, so we're going to finish up some of this stuff around here. Let's put in some big Hawaiian grass. Do. Do. Pull that up like that. Ooh, that didn't work as well as I thought. I was hoping that was going to give us a little more of a look there of grass growing out of that hill. I guess I could flatten the hill down a little bit. Maybe. Let's see here. Do. We'll try that first and see kind of where that gets us. Does it get us anywhere really? Not really. So let's do. Wow, I did a lot there. Okay, so let's do that, and let's just do a couple more chunks of this stuff, and then we're going to use number 9 here to kind of lift it up into place, and maybe that will help. Do like that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Gives us a little bit more of that feeling of the grass growing out of of the hillside there. Thank you. It was a lovely holiday. I hope you had a great one as well. I do. And belated Happy New Year to you too. I hope everyone had a good holiday. It's the time of year to try to have a good holiday at least. Like I said, I like simple stuff. I still like simple holidays and simple things. Putting together a puzzle with my son and kind of hanging out. That's definitely big on my list of, things to do. Put this in here. Now, speaking of things to do, we're going to stop here for today. Please hit like, subscribe, and notify. I might, if I have time later, I might come back and kind of check all this out. Maybe do some more. We'll see, because I do want to get this done, but at the moment I do have to go. So please hit like, subscribe, and notify. Thank you all for being here. And as always, thanks for watching.